Now, the Accra High Court has dismissed a judicial review application filed by the suspended Chief Justice Gertrude Torkonoo, ruling that the case constituted an abuse of court processes and was brought before a court without proper jurisdiction. Justice Torkonoo, who is currently the subject of impeachment proceedings under Article 146 of the 1992 Constitution, had filed a certiorari application seeking to quash the ongoing process. She argued that impeachment proceedings violated her fundamental human rights. The presiding judge, Justice Kwame Agyarko, in his ruling held that the court lacked the jurisdiction to intervene in the matter and emphasized that the application mounted to an inappropriate use of the judicial process. Sisters Donwolo is my colleague who is in court following this. He joins us live on the line. Sisters, just tell us how it all unfolded.
Yes, Beatrice, you will recall that the Chief Justice in a press conference a month or so ago lamented to the entire nation how she had been subjected to some inhumane treatment when she went to appear before the committee to respond to the petitions that had been brought against her. You know, she recounted how she had been searched, and she said the search was not proper. She also recounted how she believed that they had withheld the authenticated copies of the petitions which stand in her name or against her. They had withheld that from her, and she thought that she needed copies of those petitions so that she would be able to respond to them, knowing that these were the actual petitions that were against her. So all of that culminated in that action that she brought before the Human Rights Court, asking the court, number one, as you said, to quash all the proceedings that had already been held. Because she said that at the time those proceedings were held, she did not have the authenticated copies of the petitions and the answers to those petitions. And also, she thought that she was not given, because she didn't have that, she was not given the opportunity to be heard fairly and justly, as you would say. And so she felt that for it to be done right by her, the court needed to quash those proceedings, consider them as void, so that she would then be served with the copies, and then she can properly and adequately answer same. She also wanted the court to put a stop to the hearings of the committee. That would mean that the court would have frozen the processes that are ongoing presently. The committee hearings would be stopped, and then all the other actions that the committee is taking in relation to this would have been stopped. But the court said that it did not have the jurisdiction to do that. It doesn't have the power to hear those, to grant such an order, because they fall directly under Article 146. And you would know that under Article 146, it is a committee that must hear the matters, and from there you can then proceed. If you are so dissatisfied with it, or with the decisions of the committee. So in the estimation of the court said the Chief Justice was abusing the processes of the court by bringing these ones that really do not fall within the mandate of the court.
So, sisters, essentially what the court has said, or with this current decision, it means that every process, including that of the committee, continues.
Yes. The committee continues to hold its hearings and to do all the other work that are relative to the impeachment processes.
Again, you said that the court argued that it didn't have the jurisdiction, as it were, to look at the case brought before before it by the Chief Justice or the suspended Chief Justice, and that per Article 146 it has to be the committee. Does it also mean, or could it be that the Chief Justice could climb higher from the High Court to maybe the Supreme Court, since it has the ultimate powers of interpreting the Constitution?
There are two things here, Beatrice. The first thing has to do with the fact that the Chief Justice is complaining that she was not served the authenticated copies of the petitions. So if you recall the press conference that she addressed, she said she had requested for the original copies or authenticated copies of the petitions that had been sent the presidency, and those were denied her. Again, when she went to the committee to be heard or questioned on the petitions, the committee took her through a bodily search, and which search she considered to be evasive at the press conference. Those were the problems that she raised at the press conference. So if you link those concerns that she raised to the suit that she has brought before the Human Rights Court, she's saying that if you look at all of these things, they stand against her fundamental human right, her natural right to be heard. There's a case against her. She has a right to be heard. And the only way she can adequately be heard is if she has access to the petitions that stand against her. But the copies that she has are not copies that are coming from the committee itself, the Justice for Amman Committee itself. They are copies of the petition that probably were flowing around, and she got copies of that. But she wanted authenticated copies of the petition to show that these are the ones that were presented to the president asking for her removal, and these are the ones that she's responding to. But that had not been done. That is the reason why she went to court.
Thank you so much, sisters.
The court, asking the court to stop the processes of the Justice for Amman Committee is also what the court is saying, that it is beyond its authority, because all of those proceedings fall directly under Article 146. And so the court thinks that it does not have the authority to get into those proceedings, and for that matter, to try to stop the proceedings and to quash proceedings that have already happened.
Thank you very much, Sisters Don Wulo, for that comprehensive report. He's our man and my colleague currently following the suspended Chief Justice case at the High Court. Let's speak to Austin Kwabena Bracco Powers. He's a private legal practitioner. Good afternoon to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good afternoon.
I'm sure you heard the narrative, as it were, from our court correspondent, but how does the court's description of the application as an quote-unquote abuse of court processes affect the legitimacy of the Chief Justice Gertrude Torkonoo's case?
I think this is one of many actions the Chief Justice has brought, particularly challenging the committee itself, the Amman Committee, as set up by the President, pursuant to Article 146, and also about the fact that she had not been given proper hearing, or she had not been given the requisite facilities to be heard before the committee. I think this one is just one of, I wouldn't say it's a major setback, because usually you have to try a lot of other means to make sure that you be properly heard. But what we need to be mindful of, and as your colleague outlined, the court was clear that one, the process itself, the action itself was abuse of the court processes. And what you mean is that, already the suspended Chief Justice has an action as a case before the Supreme Court. And some of the relief that she was seeking before the High Court are before the Supreme Court. So on that basis, the High Court could not have gone ahead to make determination on matters that are before the Supreme or the Superior Court, the major court, or as we normally say, the apex court. So the High Court could not have assumed jurisdiction over those matters. Then the High Court, the judge also said that the court lacked jurisdiction to inquire into in-camera proceedings. I think on certain grounds, I agree with the judge. But I think beyond the relief that the Chief Justice was seeking before the court, in fact, she had 8 reliefs, and the 9th being any other relief that the court may deem appropriate. And I think beyond dismissing the action for being abused, for amounting to abuse of the court processes, and also for want of or lack of jurisdiction, I think the Chief Justice, the suspended Chief Justice, was not asking the court to inquire into the in-camera proceedings, by which reason the court may not have jurisdiction to hear. So when we talk about in-camera, we are talking about a closed-door discussion of the committee. Because when you look at Article 146, it mandates that proceedings requiring the removal of a chief justice or a judge, a superior court judge, must be done in camera. That is, must be done behind closed doors so that nobody will hear or see what is going on. And the aim is to protect the integrity of the judiciary, and again to protect the reputation of the person being subjected to the process. Her action was not for the court to inquire, and I think she raised germane issues. She said that she had not been given the adequate facilities to be heard. Is it true? It is the responsibility, and the thing is that one of the tenets, or let me say, the basic things anyone before a court must be afforded as an opportunity to be heard, and the lack of it may end up affecting any decision that is made without an opportunity, with the other party having not been heard. So I think the judge, for me, I think looking at it, the judge could have made any other orders for the chief justice to be given adequate facilities. And as your colleague said, she asked for authenticated copies of the petition and answers. Germane. And she also asked that she has the right to be represented. These are fundamental things that every party before a court is entitled to. So, any party before a court is entitled to.
As we speak, are there any legal alternatives available or remedies available to the Chief Justice?
No, she can like your colleague said, she has a lot of options, and she can decide. I mean, the lawyers can weigh can look at the decision and determine if they want to climb the higher ups. I mean, there are other courts that they may want to go for to seek redress. But I think beyond that, like I said, the judge could have determined whether she had been given or afforded adequate facilities to make proper representation before the committee. If not, the judge had the right per articles 23 and 296 to make orders for the committee to give her proper facilities for her to make a case before them. Because she's raising issues of natural justice. And these are matters that normally strike at the root of any decision taken when a person is not here. So I think beyond any other action taken by the court, I think the judge should have should have gone into the propriety of whether she had been given the adequate facilities or not.
We'll have to end it here. Thank you very much, Austin Kwabena Agyarko Powers. He's a private legal practitioner.
Mamiko Chief Justice Torkonoo. Mamino Emsena Uhuni say Chief Justice Pusuno. Eni fear Japade. Enti minim de wa jashe ho. Anya sa ye na wo ye adwuma maye. Ana wo mra wo transfer wo de bia bi mufo. Unim say the former I think the former Auditor General also. The same breach of or the same procurement breaches. And they did free so. And now who's there? Why you be near you free so? And I say I'm off what petition about. Na the court say Nyama Baku Miensa say no why anti president and Council of States. Never found tranche. Unanimous mammy. One na ye referee. The referee no bo pay no otchere mosagu machi no makoshe 7-0. Obo pay na MPP for akoshe. Until was a brofu bi bakroma, you can go to court. Unya ye ya fanyo market, you can go to court. Ene aban papa ba. Amafo hu niema enkoye. Wan kasa o colleagues are now no more courtroom. Wo dey asem kwa na ye bogu. Wo dey asem kwa na ye bogu. Yesi wasem no kura no doesn't hold water. It is a breach of the judicial process. You are still pushing this thing to the extent that Sagana for now ye adwuma mai. Ana yesi ye hwehwemu fa niema bi ni wo adwuma di a wodi ye hwehwemu fa ho. It is a ye hwehwemu na se wo ho fenchiwa no oba betrase. Minim de nti a ye hwehwemu yenkase ye yiwodi yenkase wodi fo ba mami e wa no de unim say esi amika say odi injunction akwa injunction ya odi akoto we say afi na ebedi hu asemu say yemfa injunction to impeachment process no so So see I can say or in the case as I do ECOWAS say a breach of human rights of a 10 million Ghana cedis as breach of her human rights. And to mama we nim the orgy MPP for last hope any na na sa mama we. So mo take room no mo ye sa mo sika die no mo di sika wo krom hanom. Ye de mo kokota na mama na sebu mo. Ye de mo kokota mama na sebu. Abai papa ba. We are following right my challenge MPP for on various platforms. Omunemu single one article or one breach of the constitution. John Dramani Mama na end this for your breach say mamwe. What or say anti suspended no. Nobody has been able to point. And the constitution near the year Juma.
Okay.
And this constitution will work. You better make sure say constitution be di Juma. At the end of the day, you na niama na ye dia or say amanfo atwera ba say why you know if it's a breach ye baby because bianga you sit tranchen uduma dia wodi na yenyi wedi because Lord Talamte san ye dia Lord Talamte
yes
o yisika o Shraj boss Lord Talamte the same to offensive the same faith. Are you more Ghanaian than Lord Talamte? You're no more Ghanaian than Lord Talamte. Now the time the impeachment process here be bro and yet don't matter impeachment way the abro petition the abre or the John Dramani Mama echo 3 petitions now do edge 4 petitions mama back up I didn't Ghana for petition on you. It means that only be enko ye ebedu mrebi kra makanda pa ankasamu. The National Security Minister can say the real court to forge ADD do almost I know the national security. Oman ever be to say amount for ACC movie. And the people were not having hope in their court because and me the man sem court na be kwa 7-0. Na kwa 5-0. According to said there or the Bayamone Kenya team be no 7-0. No 5-0. It tells you say yes. This Chief Justice was not working effectively. No, MPP Adjumamano. To quote the Deputy Road Minister, Suhini, was it a Bumio Bikranamana say on MPP woman organizer because she was just bidding and doing the work of the MPP. Yeah, and case NDC Abantu, we are trying to maybe change you or something. But what we are saying is let the rules and regulations of the court work. And then while colleagues now Okosio now matras near Owusu Mrano. So you come back, but one year so Madam Torkonoo, you go home.
Medasenti Abdul Razak Chachas Netin in Kano. Honorable Yenti Uswe. Suspended Chief Justice. Says Yanasa
Nicholas
ECOWAS Penaka.
Mami Neogu Ghana webso. An application filed by the suspended Chief Justice Gertrude Araba Saki Torkonoo seeking to quash proceedings initiated against her by the Justice Permanent Committee tasked with probing petitions for her removal has been dismissed by the Accra High Court. Minya. Chief Justice, one catcher was Onimini Oyo.
Onimoyo.
Onim papa. Who, according to Constitution, any MPP form we did. Ye frame will say Mumbrambe chere article ba compare. Ebia anamwa abain etunu. Wafum. Mwamba. Mwambe chere ba kunkura. Na debia ye kokot. Ye debia ye kokot. On se onyankopon de se bi kafra onya latani se na eta kanu
saneti
on me kire onu MPP 40 ho amudi agro promosi kokot sa enu na me ka tese ma mi nu ni mi oyo e je se kokot abi dio ni tribu panti ofri Ghana na ECOWAS ofri ECOWAS na wa high court Accra are not in now but you know the reason why they want His Excellency John Dramani Mahama government to fail. Okay. They want to pull his legs. And he say Attorney General Oma will say a Juma be dos one so. And na MPP for Oma Dibo nisu sa no mu dos. Intinu say Chief Justice Torkonoo etwinfa ha senia afenima kebeka be una azo 4 years. So they are playing a particular game and a card. senior everybody say oh ebedu saa time no na ye ntumi ampa ne hwobia echese onu ankasa nim say onu na asema ye di no unim say ye ntumi ye mfa no nko jelo do you know that but nipa odi na asem no onu na sese odi nipa sese mfa mu ko jelo no onu na di onu so na asem into odi na asem no e dey it say black star into bofa na judges no omu nya kwan and be deal with MPP it is a game. NDC for look at this very very well. Any nipa na ebe di asem no ho. Sa nipa na edi asem wa ha. Na asem we nya we inti her telling us say onya nja asem no. It is an agenda. She is still protecting the MPP appointees and now MPP members omo bo manu eka. Do you get it right? Yeah. Because her case has become a priority case. Do you get it right? Inti debianu na ninamho. Inti ebiakra national service kanye tise amwakwata no muka omadi abo micra. Inka amwakwata se kranka. Ese so koyo kosana ni mpobo atete. Because amwakwata to me be fire 10 million say or the year auditing of cocoa roads. And I bisa say now auditors are omuwo Ministry of Roads and Highways and Feeder Roads no omawu ana. Nyanti asese obi tisa mwakwata yenchi no Torkonoo yese yen waste time ni say mini akwami agboja abeye road auditing wa fakapre. Look at the two different persons. One kasa one ko agboja dia okochiye. And I was our auditors agie 10 million di. Inkrofo we na nkese se de bia no se sweater kra no muja no mujina court. Do you get it? No mujina court. Say ye omu fi kra no omu di court ho akoni abasa. But Torkonoo is taking our time. It is a game. One this avenue car on the floor of the house say mudi assembly ba ye bechi no sa obehu a na do 4 years. Avenue car on floor of the house. Nti a chiro say a game no but time or majority leader no be tired. Time or majority leader on say paper crato from another American Torkonoo. Na Torkonoo so abuamano. That is the game they are playing. Intendisi for muma show. But they say obi from we are working despite all this we are delivering. Into Attorney General Musu Makache say special prosecutor papa no did say
Kisi Agyapong
cho ya kacha musamu yinu fro
ankwano
a game man
agaw
onu ni Ken Ofori Atta eni papa tinti abojise fita no ye fredo say gabby otchere darko no omuni na game people oboye plan bi a me see ebedru 4 years and sana ebeti nie Kisi Agyapong they take the man out. Take him out. And then so no so atira be. Say ni CV so eba say I was OSP da. That's all it is okay. Moment this in front of this sumbra because they win this in for a boy a game no. We say ye no France game no na answer solid. It they are playing as legal game. We should be very, very careful and make sure say yimpio munko shekona bimukra na ye juma because the plan they have no say omenia gupoto MPP ni wankasa ewo omaimu ubehu na we asori no kasa one who we na minister obefa every Ken Ofori Atta to your friend saying Aminanta Metia works and housing minister or catch as a Zubache catch up with just say contract or mama or kwan it is key maybe some say or yes afi na wa sorry afi wufuma time amwakwata eko ye Ken Ofori Atta mukrum kwa asphalt 6 inches mu asenso owu ana asenso na wu tigana. Do you get to right? And they did that just for their self-aggrandizement. Look at the way Agboja has projected, say, we do the what? The main roads are Edi Nyama Beba, Accra. One say planting for food and job. And you could divide body every Minister of Agric say as a Ghana for ye do an United say body and Kwana Edi. Onum progress say friend because planting for food and job sikano as a signboard
there nenka planting for
enka Sir, Papa Zay from
almost so baby.
Yes, I'm with the Sikakwa. Oh, dear Sikakwa. Ajuma menu susu ni na mo.
Yes, no muspra number one web sene yakesi.
Yes. That is
half for cranom the blue ni ade o kumbo na. Ono ne dey na ba mo de frame bo na no mu.
Boni MPP for D and one. Hwese COVID aba. Na ajuma mamu. Ye to Sputnik V $9. Yes. For my $19. Yes. Ye kwa kana na so NDC vo ne de ko onye hwe. Life man. Me say boni papa no say Dr. Mahamadu Bawumia also omba be see COVID center wale and or they contract no come na down for $15 million. $15 million.
What a matter of fact,
contract $4.5 million. Or this can no di o man ko yi. You understand?
Yeah, me pese me kasi say ni say Ghana for let us be aware. Let NDC, let us be very strategic because Ghana for they've seen the work we are doing and they are giving us that support. One now must say let us be strategic and meet them. But me can we no Ghana for me NDC time I eba power no na me catch Attorney General say yen MPP for two. But osadi nyansa na moto bi di bae say wona uma wiya sika no mumfa sika no mbra enti obi bisa me question dey say enti honorable Daniel Kosi Ashama sika na ope nipa moja say onkoda nsawam na nsanfa sika nkoto gare ni asichere man wo prison enti say no ma ho say ye hia sika no ba ye NDC fo bi no mu ye dede mu man ji sika no ba ne mesra Attorney General say wona mu di sika bra wo sumase no tro biadi na twa no picture na fantu ho ye jisika no wi a na wa ye billboard wo krom ha akronfo ma say Ghana no omunie ni dinie na ya hu sika odi bro say de jisika no say at the end of the day ye jisika no wi a ye de ye kwan a no bia dia ba billboard su wa ko America da wo ko mo tourist site no na nipa ma woni nyina mpese ye no satisfy mfanko ti say Kwame Nkrumah mausoleum na ya ye billboard akese na wo na ya choro mudi in the MPP ni di be bisa me dachi say ya ye bokro no mutumi ti ya na ma so sam say brana ye nko Kwame Nkrumah mausoleum wall bi da ho akronfo ni nyina din tare ho eni sika o matia inti Attorney General mitawo chipa sa de no ye mamia na me hu beto me abruso bombodi na ye no sa me chiobia
okay
people can say we have the men we ask men no mo na ye fafo miracles aboaje abronye afenyo markets we mo the we na make we me say omo ye or they say fail omo pro max omo bon. What an incompetent team. Where MPP for me say Omed the Manchester United team no. Omoji late 2013. Be about 13 years in here. Omed tna bench ache because omoni anu omoni bi omu yenti. And the tikumha. You did 450 million Ghana cedi question National Investment Banking. Ya pija banking. Ya pija banking and there man 900
omu guno
so
omu meji with ADB na mbem
and ne aman 900 direct jobs 450 million ye dia share banking and that fin anyensa aba fie biem your banks about 600 they just need 9 billion to survive just 9 billion na Ken Ofori Atta is at 30.1 billion e dia ko shema gu banks ni ni he has collapsed all those banks. Said we are going to bank and they almost see
Heritage Bank.
Say nipa no wasem court enti ye di na asem ye di na asem wiye. Enti ye di na asem wiye enti ya gu bank. Ni ya gu bank ne keke. And they tikum ha. Ama Jakwa case. Jakwa ni Ato Forson ambulance case 2.37 million euros. And I must say ambulance there they are not fit for purpose. Godfrey Dame de Oma Court. Or do Omoko Yedi Assembly, or more supply ambulance and say, okay, and I'm case in air con yam period and Sikani Betia. See the Baya ye dean Sainti, Godfrey Dame Sempe. No acquire match fixing. Wako Fred Jakwa, Sejakwa, because say because Namintimin chat to force and furniture prison. Me chinisha prison, me jaw. A brank of one so mudi sike bre Godfrey Dame Sompe, or chat to force and so on for such 2.3 million euros. No. At the end of the day, you do call quarter, you could do as you go even. You are discharges from Munia Bonibia, Sans Canashare. And they at Beige Bank. Beige Banks with the same thing, banking collapse, yay, and a more muscanibi. And I'm with the Beige Bank so called Godfrey Damiada Rumaya, Yakoya, Yedia, some none Beige Bank say, okay, Mushisha Muninano. What's it 10 million Ghana cedis? And I was a bitria. Okay, 10 million year babitria. Godfrey Damisam and Pesami Chimugum. Ose me pescano me besame chimugum yesa ko di court yai sa sika no so ansa mbabiem eno so ankofo na dibem ama sika boy we na attorney general ese there be akotenye ose there be me hwe niam akoso bebrebe ya because o hwe charges na ye de bulk of nadofo no ya money ba bia say stealing so we wieska yen kan obi bia say wa fasika na di and the sika na ye no bibi they never said that in the charges you say or they say breach of trust say or breaching Ghana for trust the other man is on yer wantimi anye and there's money laundering and yes am born say causing financial loss to the state. These are the three charges ma who say MPP for now say be law school no mo call no memenda no o mo say atu ACN de no ene atu Kwabena Agyapong de no ye pe Kwabena Agyapong de no yeah, or they say there's no stealing. Yeah. But to SC then there is stealing.
Oh yes.
And until I might to SC G2 mu say oh 290 million Ghana cedis.
Capital Bank.
I want to mention Capital Bank. But when you see a breach of trust and money laundering. And you should share near money no. Yes, your asset 847 million Ghana cedis. I state in the Satuso. Ye jisa Japadiana Magana, near Tonga Magana. Afenso Yasanji physical cash of 500 million a few Muslim. Afenso 1.2 billion or Mediama loans. Unim say 2.9 billion. Ne Ken Ofori Atta. Na contractors abeji contra or say loan our Unibank Kwabena Agyapong or Mediakoye road contracts and infrastructure. Ken Ofori Atta ntuomuka. Nti size kan so abai ho wo so omoje edibetua. Na say there be and the sadia Muntress can 60%. Muntress 60% than your jackets. Young Massican actually, when a woman minimatical team, say we made a debiamica, MPP for a jandam, and tro, and dada, or moon your mads maker as some papa and there, Jessica. And you solve Ghana's problem. Oh, yes, cause of Ghana problem. And I'm telling you, media, Manka say, Obifa Ghana's Kadia. Yenjano so obi a wafa Ghana ska bia mrani nye de nini ndi ba say ye bedi case achi saa na be kwako wie nya hwe de say Beige Bank 10 million boy to say Jakwa case 2.3 million US boy na say ye nya sika about 2 billion Ghana cedis there mesre yaje ye de beye impuntujuma ye de be fix roads say de ko be fix sunyane nu do ma kwan ye ku amanfo I think say we intimidate I support the AG in retrieving that money.
Okay, honorable Ashama Mbreno Conti yambo to
na me work was asem say season or revocation of licenses of the banks na me mpe from day one mpe anye mi densu because enam trimodinti anamu a Ken Ofori Atta ni na nado 2 ye no Ghana for bebre ahwiri omedwuma from nsem obi a oye bank manager esa say ya close bank enti na se de wakoye kebab seller manka se kebab seller no enye dwuma wo eye dwuma but nipa no tumi ko school akodum pempen so bia no ye manager ya season the license ndem ma hu baby social media say ajaben enyo no na ye former attorney general kisi ajaben kan o baby say Ato Forson no I'm talking about Godfrey Dami kan o social media baby say nanka say ye njai atu esi dada Wow.
No cancer.
Yeah,
the first in the way who say jam. Na yo mutan na ko can say.
Enyen ono ani time na edi no shem. Trimodinfo. Ni time eno mudi no shem. Why should we treat ourselves like this? Now, so be the mekando so the be ba. Okay, Fanu says Ghana for Brazil, Yempenosa. We should look at additional strategy now Fanu say 60% ya Joe and anka Unibank nina juma and I say okay now I buy the onwani accountants ni auditors because our bank na sika bi ebeba profit bi ebeba no ye beja kosi say the rest 40% so no ya na akoye 100 e die na be say wo we ho sanyansa no MPP for ho mo gi license no African microphone no nten say do agongo say na boni be na waye
Heritage Bank
inti me catch you say MPP for omo ye trimodin for you da for asifo na asaba because you could have allowed that business to go on so that our brothers and sisters will be in business an employment system but there be muji weni nyina afro hono na omabeka unemployment Mudi Akobi CBG Consolidated Bank of Ghana. In 2023, CBG profit and loss account Omaye loss. Ewo Omasa Boka. Meanwhile, also the 30 billion. And 25, they say I do 30 billion. And they are good bank. Look at what we are doing.
Thanks for watching. Like and share the video. You can also drop your comment. Please don't forget to subscribe. Click on the bell to turn on the notification.